Today I want to talk about taking action on your goals. When we set a goal or we set an intention for what it is that we want, we come up with, okay, this is what I want, and these are some steps that I need to take to get there. But then sometimes we find that we're not taking the actions that we say we're going to take. And why is that? Why is it that we say, well, in order to meet this goal, whether it is to build your business or get healthy or lose X amount of pounds, whatever it is, it could be anything. We know that there are certain steps that we have to take, but yet sometimes there's this resistance that comes up. Like, I know in order to get more clients, I've got to interact with more people. I've got to reach out to more people, have more conversations, put more offers in front of more people. Like, I know that. This is what we tell ourselves. But then when it comes to taking the action, we'll say things like, well, maybe I'll get to that tomorrow, or I don't want to be too pushy. Or if it's a goal with your health and with diet, it's like I know I've got to eat these healthy meals, but I'm going out to dinner tonight with some friends and maybe I'll start tomorrow. So why is it that we put things off, and I think of there are certain things that we do every day and we don't have a problem taking action on it, right? Because it's just something that we do. It's a habit. So, you get up every morning, you take a shower. That's an action that you take that you don't have to push yourself to take. It's just something that you do, right? And it's the stories that we tell ourselves. What is the story that you're telling yourself that might be preventing you from taking the action? Because here's the thing, when we say things like, well, I'll just get to that tomorrow, or I've got a lot to do today, there's a lot on my plate, so I'm gonna put that off tomorrow, that's just another story. Really, if we break it down, they're all stories that we tell ourselves. So if you're experiencing this lack of taking action or resistance around taking action, just stop and ask yourself, what's the story that I'm telling myself? And where do I feel that maybe this action is not in alignment right now? And maybe that's why I'm experiencing resistance. Does that make sense? The biggest mistake I see people making is that, and I do it myself too, because I'm human, is pushing yourself to take the action, and you really don't want to do it. So you kind of like talk yourself into it, right? You have that conversation with yourself, or you're giving yourself that pep talk, and part of you comes up with all the reasons to delay taking the action, and then you've got that other part of you that's saying, oh, come on, you got to do this, you've been putting this off, and and it's like you're in this battle. But when you notice that going on, just stop. Just say, you know what? There's a mismatch here. And oftentimes you'll find that the action that you want to take is not congruent with the story that you're telling yourself. Because the truth is, the actions that you take that are going to get you to your goal, you should feel excited around them. And when the action is in alignment, when it's an inspired action, you will feel excited. And I'm going to give you an example. A while back, I just had this idea that I was going to send out an email to my audience, and I was going to ask them how would they like to, if they could start making money for less than the price of Starbucks coffee, would they be interested in hearing more? And it was just like, an idea came to me. I noticed that I got excited. I thought, what a fun email is this? It's really short and sweet and fun. I sent it out. I got 5 responses. 5 people said, I'm interested. What do I need to do? I told them a little bit about it. Out of the 5 people, 4 people paid to be a part of the program. And it was that easy because there was no resistance. Remember that we create with how we feel. We create with our thoughts. We create with our beliefs. We create with our emotions. So that's why it's so important that when you don't feel like taking an action, don't take it. Because oftentimes you're going to find that you're not going to get the outcome that you want if you had to push yourself through the action. So instead, just get curious and ask, what's the story that I'm telling myself? Because most times, there's a limiting belief that's there, or there's that negative self-talk that's in the back of your mind, maybe some feelings of low self-worth. And if you can just address that, it's like the roadblock, and that is really one thing that keeps us from meeting our goals. It's those roadblocks, and those roadblocks are those internal beliefs, the stories, the dialogue that's in your head. And you're not going to get anywhere by just trying to push up against it. When we have these roadblocks, which are usually internal, it's just a chance for you to get curious, ask what's going on, and then ask yourself, what do I need to release here? What story, or what belief am I telling myself that I need to release so that I have room for that inspired action to come? So what step could I take? And how do I feel about that? And if you're excited about it and it feels really good, then you're not going to have to push. Because it's just going to feel like, this is the next right step, and it's just something that I'm just going to take, and there's no thought about it. So instead of pushing yourself and being hard on yourself, remove the story. Just remove that block, that roadblock. And then you now have space for an inspired idea to come to you. And when you feel good, when you feel excited, that's when you're going to get the outcome that you want. When you can just ask, what's the next small step that I can take? And you stay focused on that small step. And when it feels good, that means you're in alignment with your goal and you're going to be supported. And then you take that small step. And then after you take that small step, celebrate. It's like, don't just overlook it and get hard on yourself and be like, well, that really wasn't enough. And no, because then you lose the momentum. You want to get inspired, you want to get excited, you want to get motivated, and you want to ride that wave of momentum. And part of that is acknowledging your progress. Always think about how you feel. And when you feel good, it unfolds. And this is the next step that I'm inspired to take, and I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to take it. And then it's like it's the easiest path to what you want when you feel good. And that's when you know that you're in alignment.